Hello everybody, it's the King back here with another video. Today, guys, we are going to be going over the Red Hell Demon raid. Now, really quick disclaimer, before we go into the actual characters that are currently available on Global, I want to address something. There are currently no blue typed boosters, meaning that there are no blue attribute characters who have the ability to apply stat boosts. So, the only character that's gonna come out anytime soon that has that ability is Blue Elaine, and then also Blue Easton. But Easton isn't gonna come out anytime soon. Elaine came out on JP around the time of Hell Demons release. So, she has the highest chance of being released to Global. So I'm going to cover her really quickly, and the reason for it is because if she does get released to Global, then that makes these two characters viable. It makes Gallant and it makes Blue Lizhog viable. But if she's not on Global, then both of these characters won't really be able to complete the raid at all. Well, Blue Lizhog might be able to, but I'll get into that afterwards. So, Blue Elaine, the reason she's good is for Pumpkin Basket. Right here, this ability here. It increases all allies by 30% for attack of all allies for 2 turns, and then by 40% for 2 turns, and then by 60 for 3 turns. Her ult is it's exactly the same as the that's the green Elaine, red Elaine we have on Global right now. Her passive is if a character takes damage, defense-related stats increase by 8% at the beginning of the next turn. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not really very useful, in all honesty. It's not bad, like I said. You won't really find it making a big difference. That's what I should say. It's not that it's not useful. It's just that it's not going to make a big difference. Now, her Fear of Blowing attack reduces the attack-related stat, which again is actually kind of nice. This move, I'm not gonna lie, might make a difference, and so will this move. The passive, you probably won't even notice it. The ult is not gonna help you. The reason you want her though is because of the buff. So if she is released on Global anytime soon, like I said, these two characters will be viable, and the reason for that is they both have Amplify on their skills here, which if you don't know, Amplify deals 30% extra damage based on the amount of buffs you have on the character. So if Gallant has 2 buffs on himself when using this while using this one rank this level 1 rank 180% damage, he will get a 60% boost on himself because it has Amplify. Now, if this Elaine here isn't released, Gallant won't be able to do anything at all. This Gallant sucks. If not for Blue Elaine's release, he won't be able to help at all. Genuinely at all. He won't be able to do anything. His ult technically gives him buffs, but having to ult to be able to use the character is just going to make him dead weight, because there's other characters that you can bring into this raid. Albeit not many characters, but there's still better options than him. So we're just gonna remove Gallant. You know, he's not very useful. And you may have seen SR Allen. We'll get into him later. So then that leaves Blue Lizhog. Now, if, like I said, Blue Elaine isn't released, her Amplify is a lot less useful than what it could be. However, she's not in the same boat as Gallant because of her second skill. Her second ability allows her to apply Solidify, which is a buff. So, technically, she can keep adding to herself basically Solidify stacks. And they're not gonna boost her damage, they're only going to boost her resistance, and they're probably not going, if you try to boost her up too many times, she'll probably die, just because, she won't be attacking and the boss may target her. But other than that, it will boost her Amplify at the very least, by 60%. But it's not very optimal. In all honesty, you need a different booster to be able to boost up her Amplify. Her time for scraps is actually kind of useful. Increases all allies' HP by 12% per debuff on the hero. Red Demon applies Ignite on It applies Ignite on the entire team, so this ability will activate. Her ult isn't really going to be that useful again. Charge ignores defense, which it will do a lot of damage, but even though it'll do a lot of damage, it won't deal as much damage as if she had attack buffs on her. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if she does 100, like, K, then that's a lot of damage. But if she had an attack buff on her, she'll probably be doing more than 100k. So, she'll be viable once Blue Elaine comes out. Until then, you probably don't want her on your team. She's not bad, but she'll be a little hard to make her optimal. Now that we've gotten through that, let's delete both these characters, okay? Now, SR Eren, okay? I want to get into this character really quickly before I start discussing things. So, SR Eren, right? The best SR in the game. Genuinely the best SR in the game. One of the best characters, bro. I love this character so much. God. Like, he's actually insane, okay? So, and I don't even love him because of the anime. Don't get me wrong, I did watch the anime, but I only watched it after the collab event on 7 Lily Sin's Grand Cross. So, before that, I wasn't biased, and I got to try him out before watching the anime. So, even then, I was like, this character is amazing. The reason he is so good for this fight, okay? So, the first thing is he cancels stances, right, on his rank 2 card. And that's good because the Red Demon uses stances to increase his HP and defense, and then he also heals from the stance. If I remember correctly. I know he heals, I just don't remember what the exact stats he boosts are. It doesn't matter, since if you can cancel out the stance anyway, it won't really matter. And then I Will Succeed, his ability basically, I Will Succeed, it grants basic stat boost by 20%, basic stat boost by 30%, and evasion, and then by 50% and evasion. He's basically a mini Blue Dariari. That's basically what he is, and for all intents and purposes. His ultimate is good. It ignores resistance, and it does similar damage to a 1-6 Escanor ult, even at 6-6. That's the only problem. His ult is, if you were playing during the collab event, you have him 6-6, because they gave you him 6-6. He was a free character. But the problem is, not everybody has him. If you start the game now or later, you won't have him. Which is why I just wanted to go over him briefly. He is going to be a very good character for this boss raid, but he's not a character everybody has availability to. So that's why I'm just going over him really quickly, and then that's it. You know, he'll be good, but if you don't have him, don't worry, I have other options. So that's all for Eren's review. Like I said, he is actually really, really good, and he will probably be very helpful during this raid, but you may not have him. So let's move on. Blue Slater, okay? A character I never thought I would talk about ever. In my eyes, Blue Slater was basically like garbage. I'm not gonna lie, he was basically he was garbage, bro. Like, I never thought I would see him in anything. You know, people always were like, "Oh, he's good, he's great, he's amazing," and I was like, "Nah, I don't know about that one, Chief." But then I saw some guides and I saw some like reviews, and I was like, damn, actually, he kind of good. So his Sever attack is 2 times crit chance, okay? So 160 with 2 times crit chance, 240 with 2 times crit chance, 400 with 2 times crit chance. Where is it? Where's his stats real quick? Oh, here it is, basic stats. Lol. Okay, so basic stats are here. Critical chance, 30%. Basically, it's going to be 60% because of the Sever. And then also, his passive increases crit chance to 300% of its value when the hero uses a skill on an enemy with an empty ultimate move gauge. Basically, in case that was too long for you to read or too long for you to understand, it basically means that when the boss revives itself, because the boss has 3 lives, when it revives itself, it will have an empty move gauge, because you'll go first before it. When attacking, you'll have a guaranteed crit. That's basically what it means. Like, for all of your attacks on that first turn, since it won't have since it won't have any ultimate move gauges in the bar, you'll have a 300% attack critical chance, meaning you're basically crit for every single one of your attacks on that first turn. Then he has the Saw Blade ability. Inflicts 220, right? Then it inflicts 220 and disables stances. This is really good because, again, Red Demon does use stance skills, so being able to disable them makes it very useful. Like, you really do. Like, I found it a lot easier to clear Red Demon if you just remove his stances. It becomes a lot easier. His ult isn't really gonna do all that well. It has Infect, which is actually kind of nice because it'll stop him from healing. But Red Demon doesn't heal all that often. He's not like Crimson Demon. Crimson Demon loves to heal every 1 or 2 times, right? Crimson Demon, he's like, give me them souls. Red Demon is like, man, I'll have a soul on the side, but like, I'm not gonna keep going for them souls, you know? Like, Red Demon's more of a gentleman. He don't eat all your souls, okay? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, like, Red Demon doesn't use the soul absorb ability as often as Crimson Demon. So, while Infect will have value, it won't have as much as if it was... It won't have as much, because if you infect both Crimson Demon and Red Demon... If you infect Crimson Demon, it'll have higher value than using an infect on Red Demon. That's what I was trying to say. So Slater is good. Then you have Blue King. You basically need Blue King in this fight. You basically need Blue King in this fight. The reason for you needing Blue King... Let me explain this to you, okay? Red Demon, right? The Red Demon. He has debuffs that are applicable to him. You can apply debuffs to him. Meaning, King's Petrify will work on him. And because King's Petrify will work on him, you'll be able to stop him from using a turn. If you use this Petrify at the end of the, like, as the last move, you basically just get to skip one of his turns. Which is so beneficial. I cannot stress this enough. You need Blue King. He also has the remove debuffs and heal ability. One of the best heal cards in the entire game. Because it doesn't heal on attack percentage. It heals by just like max HP percentage. Which is really nice. His ult, Shatter, ignores resistance. His ult isn't going to be like super beneficial, but it still does a good chunk of damage. The main reason you're bringing him is for the Petrify and the heal. You know what? The Petrify is really nice. The heal is even better. You know, like they're both combo together. This is a character you need. Okay. Next character that you might be able to use, Blue Lilia. In all honesty, I don't recommend using this character. It's not because she's not good, and it's not because she doesn't have value in this fight. So basically, the only reason you would bring Blue Lilia into this fight is because she has the ability to drain his ultimate move gauge. That's the only reason people bring Blue Lilia into this fight. And she also has a heal card, but when compared to King, he has a better heal card. And having 2 characters that can heal is kind of overkill, in all honesty. Which is the reason I prefer not to bring Blue Lilia, because she's just like... Path of Q isn't gonna be doing damage, and the only thing it can do is deplete the old move gauge, right? Which is okay, but, like, in all honesty, it's basically also taking up a bunch of my hand with heal cards that I'm never going to use. Because if I need to heal, I'll be using the King cards. So, while Lilia is good, I would rather bring King over her. If you don't have a Blue King built, though, you can bring Blue Lilia, and she won't be as good, but she'll still be decent. Now, the next 2 characters I'm going to go over, they're both bonds, okay? You have the blue combat bond and blue nunchuck bond. Let me say this, okay? They're both good for this fight, but in all honesty, blue nunchuck bond is worse. He's not bad, per se. He can do this fight, and he'll actually make it easier. But in all honesty, let's be honest, none of us summoned on his banner. Come on now, why would we summon on his banner? This character sucks, okay? And this character is someone we all should have. And not only should we all have him, he's better. He's technically just better. So, I'm just gonna skip over the nunchuck version of Bond. Let me just say this here. He can clear this boss. You know, it will make it easier for you. So, if you have him, take him. But if you don't have him, just use the combat one, man. The combat one is easier anyway. Alright, so why is the combat bond better? Extort attack. Decreases all enemies' attack-related stats by 15% at the start of the next turn if the hero doesn't take damage. Basically. Oh, okay, basically, right? This character, if Red Demon doesn't hit him, he'll lose 15% of his attack. Of attack-related stats. Sorry, not just attack. That means attack, crit damage, crit rate, pierce rate, all of that will be lost. if that's not kind of OP, I don't really know what is then. You know, it's kind of OP, but that's not even why he's good for this fight. The passive is good, but it won't trigger often, which is what makes it balanced. The reason he's good is for his moves. He has charge, which ignores defense, charge, which ignores defense, charge, which again ignores defense, and at its max rank, like rank 3, 500%. He's actually kind of nice in all honesty. Toxic Bottle will decrease all attack-related stats by 20%, meaning attack, pierce rate, critical chance, and critical damage for 20% at rank 1, 30% at rank 2, and 40% at rank 3 for 2 turns. Really, really useful. Really useful. Because if you're able to decrease its attack and do damage to it, it's kind of nice. And Physical Hunt, which will basically absorb its ultimate move bar. So, like, and if you pair him up with King, which you probably aren't going to do because you're probably going to have him and Blue King on the same team. But in case you don't use King and you use Lilia, you can use Drain Spear ult on Bond, okay? Now, really quickly, this fight is hard, okay? This fight, in my opinion, is the hardest one on Global. And the reason for it is because we don't have a lot of good blue characters on Red Demon. We don't, I mean, like, we just don't have a lot of good characters on Global, you know? We just don't, and that's a problem. Like, none of the characters we have here are actually all that useful. I mean, Slater, King, Blue Bond, these are probably the 3 characters everybody's going to be bringing. Because unlike Crimson Demon and unlike Grey Demon, there isn't a lot of variety. You can't really do anything here. You have to bring these 3 characters or you're kind of die. Like, it's all honesty. Lilia is optional in case you don't have King, but you should bring King instead. Now, let's get into the 4th slot supports. There's Guild Thunder, and he basically just increases speed. He increases their defense in case you find that you're dying too fast. He's not going to be doing any damage. He's not doing damage. Let me just tell you this right now. If you know anything about Guild Thunder, he doesn't do damage. So you can just ignore this. It's only for passive. And then Golgius, which increases allies' damage dealt by 15%. In my opinion, the best team for this is Slater, King, Bond, and then Golgius. It is the only team that in my opinion, will be able to clear this not only successfully, but hopefully with ease, okay? And hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult. That's really all for today, guys, though. Those are all the blue characters that are viable for this fight. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button. If you guys want to see more when I upload more Grand Cross videos, subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, hit them up, yeah, sure. Drop them in the comments below, and I'll make sure to read them and respond as fast as possible. Other than that, guys, I hope you've all had a great day. If you haven't, I hope it turns into a great and wonderful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out. Bye.